Hello there! Well, today I'm going to be talking to you about methamphetamine. Alright? So, is it a synthetic or natural drug? First, what is a synthetic drug? A synthetic drug is created using man-made chemicals, rather than natural chemicals. A natural drug is a chemical substance produced by a living organism, such as a plant. Now, meth is a synthetic drug. The synthetic drug is manufactured from humans, unlike cocaine, which is made from plants. The coke must combine extracts from medications and pills of the amphetamine family and take apart their chemical structure to find what they need for them to make the meth. Now, this is a synthesis on how to make methamphetamine. So you take phenylacetone and methylformide and methylamine and formic acid, and you get methamphetamine formide. And methamphetamine formide creates methamphetamine. This is important to know if you want to understand how the effects take place. You need to know how it's created. Now, the effects on the central nervous system. Now, neurons actually die faster. This is because the methamphetamine chemicals attack the neurons, and it causes them to overwork themselves and die, and they can never be recovered. Once they die, they're dead. There's also a decrease in white matter. White matter helps deliver messages from the dendrites to the neurons, but due to the lack of myelin, you can't produce as much white matter, so it's decreased. And with this, you also have an increase of glutamate calcium, which causes your neurons to overfire. And the overfiring is due to the overexcitement from the meth. So, it's causing them to die off and damage them. So they're not working as well as they should. It's also damaging the receptors. And you also can receive cytoskeleton damage. Cytoskeleton damage happens when the meth attacks the support system of cells and just causes them to collapse. And again, they don't really grow back. Due to these effects, you can also have outcomes from them. The outcomes are memory loss, which is due to neurons dying and the decrease in white matter. You can't get the messages out. Movement problems. You need to be able to operate messages in order to even move throughout the body. If they're messed up, you're going to have problems moving. You also lose control of your emotions. One minute you can be angry, the next minute you could be okay. You can be like, oh, I didn't even know I was angry. You also lose your attention span. You need that you can't focus on anything. The meth clouds your brain, clouds your judgment. You don't know what's happening. Now, the effects on the organs and body. Now, muscle tissue breaks down and you can have tremors. This is due to the fact that your body temperature is increasing, you're moving more, and that's causing you to be dehydrated. So the meth is overworking you and you're getting too hot. You're moving too much. You also have faster tooth decay, known as meth mouth, also, which is a lack of saliva and a dry mouth with the inability of fending off cavities, causing bacteria. Now, you also can have irregular heartbeat. This happens because your heart's being used too much, and it's causing it to skip a beat. You're going to need some medical attention. And when you snort a drug, you have the risk of collapsing your lung. This happens because of the violent coughing meth causes and the respiratory trauma. If that happens, you better hope someone's around to call 911. Now, you can also have weight loss. Weight loss is due to the meth speeding up your metabolism. And you also have death of the bowel tissue due to meth cutting off the blood flow to the bowels. And with that cutting blood flow off to the bowels, it's killing the tissue there, and it causes a deadly infection that you're gonna need some medical attention for that too. And when you use a needle to take meth, you're gonna need to make sure that it's not gonna give you hepatitis or HIV. You better make sure it's a new needle, otherwise you're running that risk. And this is just a chart to show you how the immune system is being affected, on your body. How is meth used in society? The meth is on a rise in society, actually. For the last 15 years, its distribution has gone up in the United States illegally. It's causing the DEA to play more alarms for it, and it's honestly very dangerous. Meth is also used to treat some cases of ADHD and obesity. However, it's barely prescribed. It's almost never prescribed. It can be snorted, injected, smoked, or by pill ingestion. In medical use, you usually find pills are the most common way of taking it for medical cases, and smoking and snorting is more common in illegal aspects of methamphetamine. And in society, this also causes more child endangerment, because at one moment you could be extremely angry and you don't know what you're doing, so you just hit the kid. You're abusing the kid without even knowing it. And that's not too good. And if you have chemicals in the refrigerator for meth, if you're running a meth lab, get into the food and poison them. Now, what class drug is meth? Well, meth is a Schedule II stimulant. This is due to addictive properties. And the medical use is barely used because it's barely prescribed. But when it is prescribed, there's no refills. You get no refill, and the DEA wants to make it a Schedule I drug due to the addictivity and the barrel use of methamphetamine. How can meth be used as a forensic tool? Meth itself, I couldn't find could be used as a forensic tool, so I'm telling how forensic tools are used to identify meth and the collection process of meth. So, urine test is the most common. You can also do blood test or saliva test, but the urine test is the easiest one to actually figure out. That's because the urine, excretes all the bad stuff out of your body. It's bringing it all out, so it's easy to detect. You can buy a kit, and when you buy a kit, the way to take it is you place the two liquids on the paper, one that you're testing and the one that's used to test it, and then you let it go up the card and carry your sample with it. You let the card dry for a couple minutes and use a black light to see what component is on the card. The kit usually will tell you whether you're on methamphetamine and how much you're taking. It's a very easy kit to use. You also will need to take safety precautions in the collection process, because you will need a hazmat suit due to the highly explosive things in a meth lab. And in order to package evidence, you need to make sure the containers are sealed very tightly. You need to take it very slow when you package evidence in that, because one false move and you could blow up the entire meth lab with you in it, either killing yourself or endangering you. You need to do the same thing with cleaning out the lab of dangerous chemicals. You need to take it slow, make sure not to mix any chemicals, and just drain the place. They need to clean it out because it can actually seep over to other houses nearby and actually endanger their lives. So that's very important to know. That's very important to do. So I better hope somebody good's handling the meth lab near your house. Alright, well, hope you all enjoyed this project. I'll see you all in the next project, so leave that like button and, hit the subscribe,